If I had $1, tell you what I'd do. I put it
We're all here. Welcome to those of you that are in the audience. Welcome to those of you that are listening on podcasts, Stitcher, etc. And Facebook people, here we are live. It's time for you to sing along. Ready? Everybody? Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Oh yeah, well things will change. Leaves will fall. It will rain. Oh, it's been raining all morning. Oh, you never know just how life is gonna go. You jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Oh yeah, you gotta aim high and go for your pie in the sky. Go ahead, trust yourself. Everything will right itself. Oh yeah, well life's a stream, so go ahead now, follow your dream. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Jump in your boat and row, row, row. Here we go, everybody, downstream, all together. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Something's gonna happen like we knew it would. Oh, I knew it. Something's gonna happen and it could be good. Look, we have this whole jar of affirmations here.
Yes.
Let's see. Shall I reach in? Let's get an affirmation.
Woo, I love it.
Okay, it says, I have an intention for success, and no, it's a reality awaiting my arrival. I have an intention for success, and no, it's a reality waiting my arrival. So I'm feeling successful. If anybody else needs, we'll feel free. Feel free to grab one when your turn on stage comes, because affirmations are good. Yeah. Okay. We have the Mandelbrats with us today, and they're going to sing and play and talk. And we have Brittany from the Life Center of Suncoast, and she's going to talk about counseling and grief. And we have Whitney of Zula Solutions, and her family, Andre and Amir. And they're going to come and talk about spiritual cleansing of your space, and we're so darned excited. Okay, so that's what's going to happen, and it's going to be good. Could be good. Ooh. Okay, would you all like to join me on the stage?
Sure.
Please. Here. You all want to, I'm going to give, so we got some little microphones. We're going to pass one. Put that on somewhere over there. Somewhere over here. Clip it on you. We'll clip this one on you on this side, and you and I can talk into the same microphone, perhaps. We'll
Sounds
see what
like a
happens.
plan.
Sit down. How are we?
Wonderful.
Good.
Excellent.
Yay!
Yay!
It's always good to throw a little love around.
Absolutely.
Everybody hug your neighbor, or at least wave at them. Smile pleasantly. I guess you don't have to hug people you don't know if you don't want to. Right? You shouldn't make people hug people they don't know.
Probably not, no.
No, but you can look at people and smile.
Oh, absolutely. More people should, I think.
Oh, well, gee, we agree. See how easy it is to find things that we agree on? Okay, the Mandelbrats. How did this name come about? Tell us what a Mandelbrot is.
Well, do you want the math answer first or the metaphor answer first?
The math.
Okay, so Dr. Benoit Mandelbrot is a teacher.
Wait. Benoit's and Benoit balls, or is that something different?
He probably is not like that.
No.
I'm not sure.
Here we go. Benoit is his name.
Benoit Mandelbrot
Yes.
is a math teacher at Boston University, and he found a math formula that when you put a number in, it'll do one of two things. It'll either go forever outward into the aughts, or it will go forever inward. And we're looking, the Mandelbrot is the one that go forever inward. And no matter what answer, no matter how many iterations you put it through this formula, it'll always stay between +2 and -2. What's there is there, and it will never go outside that.
That sounds a bit interesting to me. We're going to go, let's skip the math.
Okay.
How does it all stay between -2 and +2? That's
It's beyond me too.
The metaphor
fair
answer
enough.
might
so
make a little
this
more
fine
sense.
scientist made this formula.
Right. And then what you do is you take all of the answers, you run it through this iterations a couple thousand times, and you take all the answers and you map them out into a graph, and then they'll render one giant, very dense image, and take pick a location on that image, and then just zoom in. And at first, it looks like it's just a black and white picture that looks something like that. And when you zoom in, the more further and further in you go, you see that there's so many more, and there's colors and patterns that start emerging, and
That you can't see in the original image, usually.
Oh, interesting. And so does that bring us to the metaphysical definition?
One might say.
Yeah, the metaphor here is that everything it looks like things are coming at us and showing up all the time, but really you just like everything that is going to happen is already happening. You just got to find one spot that you like and zoom in on that one thing. And it's like for us, that's music. The more we zoom in and the more we focus on our music, the more color presents itself and more patterns and things that make us feel like we picked the right spot.
And I feel like people, when they're trying to make sense of the world around them and trying to make sense, of all the problems and interacting with others and, conflict and things like that, Ram Dass likes to say that the only place left you can really go to look for answers is inward. So that's kind of what we're doing, focusing on ourselves. You have to start with you if you want to change the world around you.
Oh, but doesn't that make you sort of, just focusing on yourself?
Well, you have to focus on yourself a little bit.
Hey!
If you don't put yourself first and your own issues first, you can't positively affect people around you.
I agree. I say that we're not all happy till I'm happy. And that's the thing I have the most control over.
I think it's a little bit of a trick question there, because I think
You self-centered.
inward and outward are pretty much the same thing. If I treat myself poorly, then how am I going to treat the people that interact with me? If I think well of myself and I recognize the divinity inside me, then it's of course I see it in you. Why would anything less than something awesome approach something this great?
Absolutely.
So being selfish is good.
Well, I totally agree, but we're really taught not to think about ourselves. That's somehow bad. And I
Right.
think that really you got to start with taking care of yourself, because you really can't take care of others if you're in a big mess yourself.
Absolutely,
So,
for sure.
That's my opinion on that. Ooh, do y'all hear that thunder? Yeah. Exciting day here at the Laura Shepherd Show weather-wise. Now, when did you all start playing music?
2.5 years ago?
About that, yeah.
About 2.5 years ago, yeah.
And what made you decide to become musical?
Well, we met at, you want to tell this one?
Sure.
Okay.
We met at Orange Blossom Jamboree.
Yeah, another shout out for OBJ.
Yeah.
That happens often on this show. I know.
And I was playing with a friend of mine. We were kind of trying to make a little music there, and then we met her, and she came home and put up a post on her Facebook of a song that she wrote about OBJ, and I was just like, hey, yeah, let's
do music
do this.
together.
And-
Oh.
Basically, so we met. We were very inspired, just by the people we met and the music that we heard there. And I was already like dabbling in writing some stuff, but he kind of sent me a message after the festival and was like, "Hey, we should write music. Also, we should hang out. Also, you're kind of cute, and that's how that happened. that's where we are today. So.
Well, that sounds great. And so you guys live together and you do some gardening. I know I played a show with you all, and you gifted me some lovely basil seeds.
That's right.
From your garden. Mm-hmm. So what is your garden about?
Our garden is about so much. It's.
I think it's when you think about the bigger problems in the world, it's really easy to feel like you can't do anything. Like, what can I do to counteract everything that all these corporations and society is doing? Like, there's nothing. But then when you stop and look at like little things, you see you can do things. You can grow a garden, and once you started that, you might as well throw in some flowers for the bees. And once you started doing that, you might as well start composting and giving back to the dirt. And everything, it becomes obvious that we can do lots of things to make our lives better. And the more I garden, the more my life gets better. So
I find like having, reconnecting with the earth and like finding that, there's so much, we're giving back to like so much love, nutrients to the soil and everything. And really it allows us to give love to other people. We've gifted so many of our like squashes and cucumbers and flowers and things to people. And it just like brightens them up like so much.
Beautiful flowers today. Thank you so much.
A very large marble bush.
My friend Heather in the audience brought me these beautiful flowers, so I'm doubly blessed today.
Are they zinnias?
Nice.
They look like zinnias.
Yeah, zinnias and a little bit of rosemary in there.
Yeah.
Scent it up.
And we find that we play our music for the plants all the time, and it absolutely 100% helps them grow better. Like, if no one's tried it, they should.
And how do you prove this? Do you have any empirical evidence?
I mean, you'll have to come and take a look at our garden and tell
Okay.
us. Like,
Okay, we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
No real evidence.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. That was old. Anyways, old song.
I know that song.
Yeah, you know
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
It's like, what was his name?
I feel like I heard that as
Pete
a child.
Seeger. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Pete Seeger, I think, or Woody Guthrie, Pete Seeger, one of the other.
That sounds familiar.
When they were okay. All right, and now you have a song picked out you want to play for us.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, what's it called?
This song is called Autumn Eyes.
Autumn Eyes, and
Autumn Eyes.
what was the inspiration?
Well, actually, the inspiration for this song, so I find that oftentimes the best inspiration for songs can be places you go, people you meet, things like that. Ted and I were out camping. Some plans for another event fell through, and we were like, well, we already have our camping stuff packed up. We better as well go somewhere. So we went to the Sertoma Youth Ranch, just ourselves, and kind of inserted ourselves in like the deep in the woods and just sat and existed for a couple of days. And it was beautiful, and that's kind of where this song came from. Just the inspiration I took just from sitting amongst all the trees and the nature and being kind of just with each other, not necessarily like talking or I don't know, messing around or doing anything, but just kind of being,
So
present.
did you write it
in
there
moment.
at the time, or did you write it when you got home?
I think I started writing it there, and then I finished the last two. I write songs in pieces a lot. I'll write like the first verse, and then a couple months will go by, and I'll be like, oh yeah, let's get more in that. So yeah, that's how that happened.
And so you do the words, and Ted, you do the music, or not necessarily, or
Bit of both, actually.
yeah.
We've both written words. We've both written the music for it. I think I predominantly write more of the words, but Ted's really good with the audience pleaser songs, like all the funny songs you write really
and
well.
I like giving structure. Like she'll have 17 parts of a song, and I'll just be like, if you just cut that part in half and then stick these like that, and then we try it.
He's
it's
good at
perfect.
sewing it all together.
Yeah,
he really brings everything together. He's the glue to the song.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like once you have something, then you can make it better. But it's nice to have something to work with. So
Yeah. That's usually
okay.
how we do stuff.
So the name of the song again?
Autumn Eyes.
Autumn Eyes. Carry on.
All right.
Let's see.
And I think I'm going to have to scoot this microphone around to the other side.
Scoop this microphone.
Okay.
I'm not actually singing. Is it okay if I take this microphone off?
Oh,
You
yeah.
want to take it off?
Sure. And we will just set it right over here so that it might catch some of that.
All right. That's
That's
okay,
where
my
we're gonna
finger?
put it from.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, let's hear it.
Loud enough?
All right.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Let's see if that picks up.
Thank you.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Take me there with your sparkle eyes to the treetops where my soul can fly, untethered by a link. Light shines in a little through the crowd. Too big for this shell, no turning back. Don't fear, just get up and flow home. Breathing on their gifts, memory life. Looking back on that time I died and crawled outside to light home.
Oh, the old trick ending. Here, I'm going to give you this back. All right, so where are you all playing next? Any place, got any place lined up?
Well, you can find us pretty regularly at Speakeasy Kava Bar. That's kind of like our zone right now. A lot of people like us over there, so we keep going back.
We have
Yeah.
an open mic on Thursday night that's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
They'll let you do just about anything.
just about.
And that's in Largo.
Yes,
Right.
that is in Largo.
That is in Largo. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to get you all back up here at the end of the show to play some more.
Awesome.
Let's have these little microphones.
Here you are.
Excellent. We are we're so high tech around here.
All right.
The Mandelbrats. Look deep inside, friends. All right, we are going to get Brittany up here. Miss Brittany. I'm going to pin this on you.
I receive it.
Yo, thank you. I know. Well, how nice of you. Brittany, how are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'd say above average, which actually means better than most.
And how is that?
You know, I can go around saying, how are you? Oh, I'm better than most. People get upset. So you just say, oh, above average. And then, you know, people can take that how they like it.
When people get upset, how does that make you feel? Oh, I'm just kidding.
Brittany, what do you do?
I do a lot of things, but I work at the Life Center of the Suncoast. They're a grief and trauma nonprofit counseling center, and I wear many hats there. So I do the majority of admin, I counsel there, and today I'm wearing the hat of marketing director.
Ta-da! And exactly what does what sort of services do you provide?
So we offer grief and bereavement counseling. We're one of the only standalone grief counseling centers in the Tampa Bay area that really focus on that and have an expertise in it. We've been around for 38 years.
Wow.
So that's the first cool thing about us. The second cool thing about us is that we have a grant from the state of Florida that covers the cost of counseling for victims of crimes. So for 20 years, we've officially had it for 20 years this fall. So for 20 years, we've counseled people following homicide loss or physical assault, sexual assault, domestic violence, domestic terrorism, burglary, robbery.
That sounds
Hard
very,
stuff.
Yeah, that sounds very necessary, I would
Yeah.
say, I would imagine.
Yeah, and who else deserves free counseling than a victim of crime?
Right.
Right.
Well, I guess we all deserve free counseling.
That's
but
true.
some
Which
people
brings
might-
me to cool thing about the Life Numero Trace.
Okay.
So starting this January, we actually started a program called the Underserved Program. And it's for anyone who needs grief counseling and can't afford our rates, which are fairly low. But if they can't afford it, then we work them through an in-house program. It's all donation funded, and it covers the cost of counseling for them completely.
Oh, excellent. So if somebody wanted to, they could donate to your organization?
Yeah,
How would they go
absolutely.
about doing that?
They can do that on our website, which is thelifecenterofthesuncoast.com. It's a PayPal donation on there. They can also find our address on the website and mail something if they want to do a check or stop by sometime. We're open most days from 10 to 8.
And how long have you been working there?
I've been there for 2 years.
And what brought you into grief counseling?
Well, what brought me into grief counseling was
Okay,
kind of...
I-
Yeah, well...
Tell us.
Actually, I stumbled into the Life Center fairly fortuitously. I'm interested. I approached my counseling degree and plan because I was interested in trauma counseling, because trauma counseling, I needed trauma counseling and it saved my life. So that was my interest.
Now, did you pay full price for your trauma counseling, or did an insurance company pay for it, or how did you?
I'm looking back, I mostly paid full price. I had my very first counselor was free.
Oh.
But this was many years ago.
Yeah.
Many years ago.
Okay, just wondered.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's hard. The rates that, like, if we're not the right fit for someone, they maybe need mental health counseling. I work really hard to try to come up with a referral list for folks, especially if they can't afford a lot. And it is really rough out there. Like, a lot of insurance we don't take insurance because we're just too small. We can't process insurance, but our rates are like lower than most co-pays. So it's rough out there in the mental health world. But
Yeah.
I stumbled into the Life Center because my best friend's other best friend, no jealousy, worked there, needed to move, and was like, oh, there's this job and maybe you want to work there. And I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, maybe. And I can counsel there while I'm in my master's program. And it ended up that I so benefit from working there, and the Life Center so needed someone with a marketing background. Like, they didn't even realize how much they needed that until I got there, because I've worked in nonprofits and fundraising for a lot of years. So it's been this wonderful, wonderful thing.
And it always makes you feel like you're doing the right thing if everything turns out.
Yeah,
You know, when things
absolutely.
like magically happen like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I love what we do. Another cool thing about the Life Center, we have a lot of support groups that are really unique to the Life Center. Like, they don't exist other places. So we have 2 groups that are free. We have a homicide loss group monthly and a sexual assault abuse survivors group that meets twice a month actually. And I actually run that group. I love it so much, my ladies. It's a fantastic
And you love
group.
it, why?
I love it because I'm a survivor of sexual abuse and sexual assault, and so that was a lot of the work that I had to do. I'm also a survivor of growing up in a war zone in another country.
Oh,
So, well, it made me who I am, so it's okay. It wasn't okay in the moment, but it's kind of my superpower now, because I can work with folks that have been through, violence or rape or childhood sexual abuse, and I'm able to help them in a way that another clinician who has all the knowledge but not the experience of being a survivor maybe wouldn't know as much. But I love the group because the ladies are all starting to, like, support each other. I kind of get to sit
Like
back now.
outside? You mean outside the
Outside,
group,
yes.
or?
Our last group, 2 of them carpooled, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
become best friends. I like it. But one of them will say, like, I'm having trouble with this, and the other one will say, oh, well, have you tried that? This really helps me. And then, like, oh, that's a great idea. Can you show us how to do it? And then we all do, like, a breathing exercise. That's my clients doing it. I just sit there, like, it's so wonderful.
What kind of breathing exercises?
What were we doing? We were doing a progression breathing for disassociation, where you breathe in and move your fingers like this. I'm not very dexterous. And you exhale and move your fingers out. So it helps, like, ground you and breathe at the same time, which can help with disassociation.
Oh, by moving your fingers, it brings you into your body,
Mhm.
sort of.
Yeah,
like
you're like, my hands are here.
Right.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, what other groups do we have? We have a suicide loss group, which is also one of the only ones in the area. My sexual assault abuse survivor group is also very unique. Most groups, it has to have been reported, or you have to be part of a rape crisis center or in a program. and mine is, or it's like an 8-week locked in. You can start this day and it ends this day. Mine's a drop in, drop out. What else do we have? We have so many. We have a general grief group, a spouse and partner loss group, which is cool. It used to be our widows group. And then we were like, hey, why are we, like, we want the dudes to come, and we want the same-sex couples to come, and we want the long-term boyfriend-girlfriends that, or girlfriend-girlfriends, or boyfriends-boyfriends that never got married. So that's cool too. What else do we have? We have like 10 monthly groups. It's wonderful. And they're all range in like price from $0 to $30.
And when somebody comes in for counseling to your center, about how many sessions do they do, or is that random?
On average, I'd say for grief, it's anywhere from 6, maybe like 4 to 6 for some types of grief. If it's traumatic grief, that's going to go up to about 8 or 12. And then for sexual assault, which is it's becoming like 90% of my clients that I see, which is cool because it's my zone that I like. It can really range. If I'm their first time getting counseling for their abuse, then it might be a few months of weekly, and then we go to bi-weekly, and then once a month. But again, it's all free, so.
Yeah, so if you've had some sort of trauma, it's worth going to see somebody.
Yeah, we're really not set up knowing how to deal with certain things. You know, we're not set up
As
to
people,
know.
you
As
mean.
people, we don't come into the world going, oh, my loved one was murdered. I can handle that. I know how to deal with that. We don't have the coping skills. It's not how it's supposed to be. So anything that's outside of what is like the normal expectation of life, it's really hard to process on your own unless you have a really strong community. But sometimes you need a professional to kind of help you walk that path. That's right. And my lovely co-therapists, who, by the way, I'm 36 years old. The 2 main therapists at the Life Center have been counseling for 39 and 38 years.
I guess you get better with practice.
Absolutely.
And I bet you see a lot of wonderful people that, leave there and their
Yeah.
lives are changed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's really fantastic. In fact, the majority of our donors are former clients.
Of course, yeah. I
And
mean,
then-
not of course, but
Yeah.
that does make
Yeah.
sense to me. And so what other things do you do other than that?
Like myself, Brittany.
Brittany, what are you about?
Oh, well, actually, to piggyback off of what I don't know how to say this.
Mandelbrot.
The Mandelbrot.
I had to
does.
learn
It
myself.
sounds like a kind of sausage, like I'd want to.
Yeah, we
like
get that a lot.
Mandelbrot, you know, like processed meat. But, so to piggyback off them about self-care,
Yes.
I actually was just talking to obviously I have a lot of friends who are clinicians and therapists or work with social work or whatever, and I did an Instagram post the other day that I talked about how self-care is one of the most necessary parts of serving others, because you cannot serve from an empty well. So I was talking about if I've done it before in practice, like in my master's program, we had to break down our hourly, every week what we do for 1 week, and then how much of it is for others and how much of it is for you. And I am proud to say that mine was 51% for me, and
What sort of things
49 was for others.
What sort of, cooking dinner is that?
Cooking dinner. I grew up in Colombia, South America, so cooking is like.
Is that a good or
That's
bad?
it is one of my favorite things to do.
Okay.
I'm one of those rare people that I cook every meal I make. If my friends are like, let's go out for dinner, I'm like, how about I just make it?
Oh.
Because I
Let's
love.
be friends.
Yeah, I love to feed people. So yes, cooking, that's a major part for me. Massages are a major part for me. Exercise. I run 5K races, 10K races. I work out in the gym. I meditate every morning.
How long do you meditate for?
Oh, it's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Well, there you go.
So it varies. It depends on what I'm passing through on myself. Sometimes it'll be, 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll need an hour.
And do you set a timer, or do you just sort of sit there and then
I
you
go
know
with
when you're done?
the internal timer.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I've been meditating 15 minutes a day since a lovely woman on this show gave me a meditation cushion. And so because she'd given me the gift, I said I would meditate every day for a week. And I had been meaning to meditate for years because we all know, we've all read about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it for a week, and then I've been doing it ever since. But I do 15 minutes. I set a little timer.
That's amazing. I have been meditating for 13 years.
Congratulations.
It is really awesome. And I actually, about 6 months ago, I hit a meditation goal that I didn't even know existed.
What was that?
So I have, from growing up in a war zone and being sexually abused and assaulted throughout life, I have PTSD. So I have triggers and anxiety and problems with insomnia and things like that. So about, I guess, 6 or 7 months ago, I was driving to work, living my best life, and all of a sudden I noticed that I was doing a meditation breath. And I was like, why am I doing a meditation breath? So I normally wear an Apple Watch, so I looked at my heart rate was up a little bit, and I was like, what's going on, body? Talk to me. What is it? And I looked, and there was a truck next to me that had like a chain hanging down, and it sounded like the kinds of vehicles that rebel army guys would drive in Colombia, the guys with machetes and machine guns. And so I was like, oh, that's a trigger sound for me. And then I realized, I was like, my body went into self-comfort meditation before my mind realized I was triggered.
Right, that's the interesting thing. You can be being triggered by things that you're not even aware of. Like all of a sudden you get anxious and you have no idea why you've become anxious.
And this was the opposite. This was like, my body was like, hey, that's a trigger over there. I was like, what do you, I was like, look at you doing the best that you can do. Like, anxiety kind of turns your body almost into your enemy, because anxiety can like make your heart beat really fast and make you sweat and make you delirious, make your head spin, you feel foggy. And this was like my body being my hero. And I was like, look at you with your, oh, you're so good. I was just so thankful for this body. And I didn't know that could happen if, you meditate long enough and exercise that muscle long enough. It was amazing. I was so happy. I was like, look at you.
Oh, we're happy. How do you meditate? Like, what method do you use?
You know what? I'm a weirdo. I got into meditation with no guidance at all. I grew up religious, and I got into religious prayer, and then I stopped being religious. Or I guess that's the best way to put it, or I wasn't religious anymore. And I just kind of evolved into my own meditation practice. And then now in life, when I do learn things about like the proper types of meditation or suggested breath techniques, I'm like, oh, my body already does that.
Oh, cool.
Like, that's a breath that I've already done, which is just cool and shows you that it's like part of our core, like evolutionary, our bodies have done meditation and breath and know it, because at least mine did.
Well, okay, that gives everybody some hope. Go meditate however you want.
Yeah, it's easy. It's, give it a minute. Commit to 3 minutes. Don't make it like I have to now meditate for an hour in total stillness and I can't get distracted. Like, if you can be undistracted for 1 solid minute nowadays, that is like an impressive win, and then just keep building on it.
Right, and I meditate sitting up in a chair. You don't have to be cross-legged on the ground.
Yeah, I meditated right before I got here.
Oh, yeah. That's why you're so perky and fabulous.
Isn't it funny that I'm a grief and trauma counselor and I'm so perky and, as she said, fabulous?
Yes. Well, I think that maybe it's because you've been counseled, maybe because you've looked at things and are trying not to stuff it down.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, grief and trauma counseling is like the deep pains of humanity. And a lot of people, like I've talked to other friends of mine who are clinicians, maybe they do like addictions counseling. They're like, I don't know how you do that. I'm like, I don't know how you do what you do. Like, we're all made to do our different things. And a lot of times folks will look at what we do at the Life Center and say to therapists, like, how does that not bring you down to, like, how does it not affect you to sit with these people in like their most painful moment of maybe their entire life?
Yeah, how does that not affect you?
Because it's an honor to sit with people in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, it is a privilege. Big time.
There you go. Well, thank you so much. That gave me goosebumps. Well, it has been a privilege to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I would, recommend to people that if you've got some sort of trauma, or reach out, or grief, look, find some way to, I don't know how exactly, but find some way, read a book, do some meditating, reach out, and even if you're not sure that you've been traumatized, you might have been. So. Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much. Yay, I appreciate you coming.
That's great.
My goodness.
Thank you.
just so, it's like, it's nice to know that, it's nice to know that horrible things can happen to nice people and that you can survive it, you know, and it's like,
If I had a dollar, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd put it in my pocket, then I'd walk away from you. I'd walk away singing, singing, walk away from you. I told you from the beginning, that is what I do. Walk away singing, hey, you ever made me blue. Walk away singing, singing, you ever made me blue. Now I'm going to tell you people, this is not a Love Gone Wrong song. This is like a take this job and shove it sort of song, you know? Like, if you don't like the way you're being treated, you get up and walk away. And it's good if you have a dollar you can put in your pocket, but even without that dollar, you're better with the clothes on your back and the goodwill of your community than any other money. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's right. No, I won't miss you when cloudy skies pour rain. But the fields lay there singing, hey, soaking up the rain. Lay there singing, singing, soaking up the rain. 'Cause if I had a dollar, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd put it in my pocket, then I'd walk away from you. Walk away singing, singing, walk away from you. You see me high stepping? That's right. I'm on my way out. That's right. All right. Yay! Whitney, Andre, and Amiris. Come on up. Let's see. We're going to give you.
And then I can
You
have
take one.
And,
Put that on you. We're going to clip on some microphones here. I'm going to sit right in front of you all. Here, you get one.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Sit down. Oh, here. Would you like an affirmation?
Yes,
Who
I was
wants an
going to
affirmation?
take one and you
I
read
forgot
my
that. Yes,
mind.
there we go. Just have an
We
affirmation.
do my affirmations every day in our house, in our village, every day and every night. So this is great. Thank you.
I shall temple.
Ah, I like that. So mine says, I respond peacefully in all situations.
Yay!
Ashe. What does yours say?
Mine says positive thoughts expand within me, and I open myself to all the possibilities and abundance of the universe now.
Okay.
And mine says, I expect to be successful in all my endeavors. Success is my natural state.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep this one.
Okay, you can
I think I'm
keep
gonna
it. Yes, 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 keep it. It's not mine to give, but Trina,
they're all keepable.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I need to post this up on something. I'll see it every day.
yes.
right.
We're just talking about that.
That's right.
Yes.
Vision board.
so what are you all about? You're a family?
Yes.
I'm assuming this.
This
Yes.
is the Trinity.
A Trinity.
Yes.
Yay. We like that
Yes.
word.
Thank you.
And you've got a little business,
Yes.
not little, which I don't
It's gonna be
belittle it.
huge.
She's got a huge business.
Yes.
And tell us about your solutions.
Okay, so we have Zola Solutions, and basically we do trash pickups throughout the community, and we also do spiritual home cleansings, and we also have a fashion accessory coming out, but that's later in the year.
Okay.
So our main goal is to get the community clean and to get our community members' houses clean if they need it. We spoke a lot about meditating and being in peace. What better way than in a clean space?
Absolutely.
That's number one.
So spiritual cleaning, is that what
Yes.
you said? So what is spiritual cleaning? I know what, Lysol cleaning
Yes.
is about.
Spiritual cleaning is basically getting the nitty gritty of the house. Everything that we look at and we say that we need to wipe down, but we never do. Basically dust, cobwebs, just to be, quick and specific. We use different chemicals. Well, not chemicals, I'm sorry. We use different natural bases, and we use different essential oils, sage, crystals. And then at the end of our cleansings, we also give a special gift for your home to kind of clear the negative energy and the stagnant energy that you may have in your home. Because we all live in a life of chaos. It's beautiful chaos, but it's still chaos. And half the time when we get home, we're not ready to clean the house deep. We do the dishes, we may vacuum, we may pick up here and there, but we're not cleaning ceilings, we're not wiping walls and baseboards. And that's what my business is about, is getting you squeaky clean so you have a place to meditate and focus.
Do you burn sage for people?
Mhm.
We have this lovely piece of sage
Yes,
here.
we do saging, we do smudging. Our tribe, we do smudging every morning before we start the day and every night after we come home, because that's our way of cleansing ourselves. That's our way of starting our day great, and that's our way of coming back to our sacred space and ending our day in a great positive mindset to go to the next day.
Can I add something?
Yes.
Also with the spiritual cleaning, there's a lot of you like to say energies and spirits that live within the stuff you have in your house. So let's say if you have just a clutter of books or clothes or just stuff that energy can live in, and you're not organizing and not putting it away, Whitney definitely helps with that, which could also carry a lot of your negative energy. So we do stuff in our own house, and we have mirrors in certain places, we sage and we smudge and we clean certain things. So that way, the negative energy is not there with us all the time, and we try to fill it with positive energy, different type of crystals and beads and stuff like that.
And then also at the same time, we try to clean up the streets and everything, because it's really dirty. So every time you walk down the street, you see a piece of trash on the ground, but you'll always say oh, someone will pick it up, but no one's really gonna pick it up.
Nobody but me.
Right. It's a handful.
Right, it is true. It's like if you, I pick up the trash in front of my house because I don't want to see it every day. And
Right.
sometimes I'll walk past a piece of trash and I won't pick it up for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time I walk past it, I'm like, this piece of trash has already taken more of my mental energy
Right,
than it
right,
would take to pick
right,
it up.
right.
I've been mad for 3 days over the cat food bowl that the neighbor left there, And I'm like, if I had just picked it up the very first time I saw it,
It's done.
Absolutely.
Yes,
It's
and that's how
done.
we feel about the trash in the community. We have a beautiful community, and the only thing that's making it an eyesore is the trash. So our family just started picking it up. We started with community cleanups. We do that about every 6 months, but it's hard to get all the spaces that we want to get. So we've started to do it more consistently, and we offer a reasonably priced business where we can come out weekly, because we pick up 1 month, and then 2 days later the trash is there. So this business offers us to continue to pick up the trash. You may not want to pick it up every day, like you said. You don't want to pick that up,
Right.
but we don't mind picking it up because it makes us feel good.
Yeah,
Look good, feel good.
that's
When
right.
your community look good, everyone feels good. When your house looks good, you feel good. When you come home to a clean house after work, you're like, you know what? Doesn't even matter. I'm in my sacred space. It smells good. It looks good. I'm ready to do what I need to do, whatever it is. Work on your dream. Meditate. You can do that better when your house is cleansed and smudged, and you have your crystals and your plants. It all plays a part, and I think the more people that know how important it is to clean your house and to get rid of the clutter, the better we all can start to be as a unit. We are a unit, all of us. So this is bringing us all together.
And so if people want to get in touch with you, they can go to Facebook
Yes.
and Zola
Yes.
Solutions.
Yes. Zola means to love beautiful solutions.
Oh, in what language?
It's in West African.
Okay.
Yes. So Zola means to love. And then we have solutions. And we all love beautiful solutions.
Thank you.
Clean house, clean community, they're beautiful solutions, and that way we can work together to make everything else around us beautiful, because we all know that it's, like I said, chaotic out there. So
I had a friend who used to pick up trash in the neighborhood, and everybody thought he was homeless.
right,
Just
what is
because
that?
it's like you have to be homeless to pick up trash. Like,
No.
like people, it's like there's something wrong with you if you're gonna pick up trash.
Right, and people look at us like, well, they think we work for the city.
Right.
And even when we're out as a unit, as a community picking up, they're looking at us like, well, are you guys getting paid? I'm like, no.
Yeah, or maybe you're prisoners from the
Right,
from
like it's
jail.
a
Like,
punishment.
yeah, like
it's
some
not
sort
a
of
punishment,
punishment.
it's a reward.
The wild thing is, because we live on 18th South, around the Perkins district neighborhood, and there's just always trash on the main road, on the side roads. So for like we've been here for what, 5-6 years, and for 5 or 6 years there's been trash on the ground.
Right,
City come by, if it doesn't make it in the trash can, it doesn't get picked up.
right,
If the trash can blows up, the neighbors won't pick it up.
right.
Or if they just run down the street and don't want the McDonald's bag, they'll throw it out the window.
Right.
And we have to walk past that every day. Like literally, the store's down the street, we're not gonna get in the car and walk and drive to the store. So we have to walk past the trash every day. And we just got tired of seeing it. So the first time we did a community cleanup, we probably got about 15 people, just friends and family together, and we picked up about like almost about 150 to maybe 175 pounds worth of trash
Oh my goodness.
in about 2 or 3 hours. And then the second time we did it, we doubled that. We almost hit 300 pounds. It was like 250, 260. I was posted on
The weekly challenge.
the Weekly Challenger because there shouldn't be that much trash on the floor. You know what I mean? If everybody lives here and we all just did our own little small part, it'd be way beautiful, it'd be way nicer. We could accomplish so much more
Right.
instead of just focusing on this negative, because that also is negative energy in the streets,
Yeah.
in the neighborhoods that
It
we
stinks.
and it just we have it around us. We don't want to live in squalor, I guess.
I know, and it's interesting how, it's like I go to music festivals and stuff, and I'm paid to play music, but then I always pick up cigarette butts, and people are like, why are you picking up them cigarette butts? It's like, because I can, because I can reach the ground 100 times, because I am blessed to be able to reach down onto the ground and pick something up. Some people can't reach the ground.
Right, right.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
That's
Well,
what we're here for.
I really admire you all working together as a family.
Thank you.
That seems so positive, and in our world, we're really segregated. The men go off to work here, and the women go off to work there, and
Right.
the children go off to school
Right.
there. And it's a blessing for you all.
It takes a village, and we are the village. We are the village. Let's come to. If everybody just went up in front of their own house
That's right. Just
and
take
picked up the trash, it would take 10 minutes. That's it.
Oh my God!
And the
if you-
communities would be beautiful.
That's right. And if you do it every day,
Every
it's
day.
like it's not 300 pounds worth.
Right.
It's 1 or 2
Yeah.
bags.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
Please.
It's a small solution
All
to a
right,
big problem.
everybody look around you, wherever you are
Pick it
right
up,
now out there in the
please.
world. Look
Yes.
around you. Do you see any trash? If so, bend down and
Please.
pick it up.
The garbage cans are lonely. Fill them up.
Oh.
Fill them up,
Garbage
please.
cans.
And get your homes cleansed.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
It's all important. It's all important. It's a huge pivotal moment for all of us. And we just want everyone to experience the blessings that we have. I've seen the difference from me doing my own cleansings in my own home. Just the blessings that come, and it's great. And everybody should experience it.
Yay.
Everybody should.
Well, thank you guys so much. I really
Thank
appreciate you coming and
Thank
talking
you.
and sharing this about, because really it is almost embarrassing to pick up trash. And I have a rule. If I'm out in public and there's trash on the ground, sometimes I'm a little embarrassed to pick it up, especially because I run around barefoot, so people think I'm crazy anyways.
Grounding
Yes,
matters.
I know.
Grounding does
And
matter.
so it's like, I feel like if I can see a trash can, even if I'm downtown in the middle of a big, it's like if I can see a trash can, if I can see a piece of trash and I can see a trash can, I am morally obliged to pick it up and throw it in.
We
Now,
all are.
I don't necessarily have to pick up every piece of trash and carry it with me.
No,
Right.
you don't have to. No,
But
no.
if you can see a trash can,
It makes that little bit makes a difference.
It certainly
It makes
does.
a difference.
All
So,
right.
More Captain Planet.
Yes.
Well,
and
thank
look
you.
for our fashion accessory coming out. If you have long hair or locks, we'll have something that you can just.
Well, we'll
put on
get you.
and go,
We're going to
so.
get you, and we're going to get you back on the
Okay.
show once you get all
Okay.
that. Do you have locks?
I had.
You had locks.
Yes, he had locks. He's restarting, and I have a mystery.
Well,
The crown hides it.
and it's like, well, it is interesting, you know, you're cleaning up your own head. I guess that's
Yes,
you know,
it
taking
starts.
over-
This is our crown.
That's our crown.
We are all royal, and it's time to reclaim it. So.
That's right. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Thank
gonna take
you.
your little microphone.
Okay.
Shout
I
out.
appreciate you all. I hope you noticed how clean it was when you pulled up to my house.
Oh,
Not yet. I want mine.
Thank you.
Oh,
Blessings.
I always feel like you should hug heart to heart. Left
Yes,
side.
yes. A patient
And
told me
that's-
that.
Yeah, that's the theory. But people always hug the other way.
Exchange.
But
this
it's
side?
like
Heart to
it's this
heart.
weird. So I end up wrestling with people. You know, it's like I don't know. It's some crazy thing somebody told me, but generally speaking, we go the other way. All right, let's get the Mandelbrats back up here. So it is interesting how how connected mental health and food health, growing your food, and cleanliness around health. And what is this lovely instrument you have here?
this is a melodica.
It's a melodica. Yeah, you blow into it, eh?
Yeah, it's a piano that you have to take one of those drunk driver tests to get started. Made the level.
Come on
right there in
in.
the middle.
Come on in.
All right.
Okay.
Do you mind if I talked about this song a little bit?
I would love for you to talk about
All
it.
right. So this song is called The Collective, and it is about how every single one of us is made up of the exact same stuff. And how there is divine energy in all of us. And if we unite that energy, then we can become more powerful in the world. So, yeah, I think that'll be okay. So that is what this song is about. So, in order to be part of the collective, feel free to break out your little shaker, instrument shaker.
I have a shaker. Oh, I'm excited.
There's some in the bag over there.
If you didn't get some, we have like a little bag right here.
A little bag of funk.
Got it?
I'm ready. All right, participation
All
counts.
right. So feel free to sing along. There will be like a section. The chorus is not really any words, so feel free to sing along. All right, everyone. Here we go. 2, 3. Great audience participation. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Okay, we only have a few minutes left. What I want, Whitney, come back up here for a minute.
Okay.
Whitney was, she is kind enough. She wants to offer you all a gift.
Yes, so I can do a free room of spiritual cleansing so you can get the effects. So you choose. I'll leave my number and then we'll set it up.
I want to go sit in the woods for 3 days.
Yeah, let's do it.
Take us with you.
Come sit in the woods with us.
We got everything ready for you. Let's do it.
Yes. We like, music. Thank you so much. Oh, you can stand up here. Stand up here. We're going to sing a song together. Musicians are often asked to just come play for free, and so we like to be able to give you a gift. So Whitney is sharing her talents with you, and this is some dried moringa leaves that I dried myself, and I'd like to pass those on because I know that you guys are into good food.
Thank you so much.
So there we go. Now our time is almost done. Everybody, get your little shakers. We're gonna. You want to play this song with us? It's an A.
It's an A?
Might be. It's just simple. And
Maybe I'll shake along.
Okay,
You
you shake.
give me some noise.
Here's a shaker.
Give me a noise thing. All right.
There we go.
I'm ready.
So
Go.
it's just, 1, 4, 5, 1. Come on around. Anybody else that wants to come up here, bring a shaker, hang out with us.
Remember to get a shake.
Everybody, get up on here, up on the stage. Okay, this song, as I like to say when I play this song, you got to put your troubles in a holy basket. Which means when you get where you're going, they'll have all fallen out.
Here's the best.
Right.
So come up, get yourself up in. Where can we all good?
Can he stand behind you guys?
Yes. Can you slip in behind us here?
Hey, you
And
want
then you'll be on.
avocado?
Yes, the avocado.
Get that avocado.
Okay, now we got it. Oh, the sun's shining. Don't jump freight trains and they roll by. Don't like the news, I'll tell you why. I go downtown if I want to smoke. I'm treating life like a joke. I won't go sitting in my neighbor's yard. He's gonna work it 9 bars. I go downtown, but I don't wear shoes. So I don't sing the blues. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carrying the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Oh, big cross, if you smile at me, I throw my troubles out the sea. I don't wear black or need a heart attack, but we can be happy. How about that? Now, what could go wrong? Don't want to sing about it in a song, but I'll look at you and shake my head. Lord knows some people may be better off dead. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Don't be sad when I look at the stars, but I know it's out there, it's so small. Don't think much about the evening dew. Lord knows I don't want to sing the blues. I don't like ham, but I do like toast. I certainly don't care who you hate the most. I don't care how it's always been done. You can give in, but still keep some. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, let the sunshine through. Carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, carry my rain in a bushel basket, but let the sunshine through. You let the sunshine through. much. If you want to support the Laura Shepherd Show, please go to patreon.com and leave a little money in the tip jar on your way out. Call somebody if you need help cleaning or inside, outside, your mind, your home. And take care of yourself. Love yourself, because start with yourself. Yay!